Hey, today we are going to be discussing parenting styles. So let's dive on in by asking the most important question about it, and that is why should anyone care about this topic? Well, I would say you should care because most people become parents. At the end of this video, I'm going to reveal what research shows us about these parenting styles. There are 4 styles, one of which shows to work much better for children. This means you have the opportunity to hear me out, look at information about it, and then determine what would be best off for your child. Even if you're not a parent, you may be one day. If not, then inform family and friends, encourage them to look at research themselves. Also, it's going to be kind of fun because then you can judge your parents and how you would be or how you are as a parent, which is just interesting and fun. So, some background on it. Diana Baumrid looked at commonly found dimensions in research on parenting and applied them to create 4 parenting styles. Acceptance and responsiveness is the first dimension. This measurement is the amount of warmth and affection the parent shows toward their child. Being high in this measurement would result in a lot of praise and encouragement to the child. Low levels would result in being rejective towards the child. Criticism and punishment would be more likely than praise. The second dimension would be demandingness and control. This dimension measures the restrictiveness and structure the parents have set for the child. Control over misbehavior and expectations of appropriate behavior would be seen. Low levels would have less control and have fewer limits for their child. So to see these actually pictured, this is what it looks like. And these are actually the 4 parenting styles. As you can see, high in acceptance would be to the left, low in acceptance or low warmth would be on the right. High in demandingness would be on top, and low in demandingness would be on the bottom. So there you can kind of see and get an idea for where the 4 parenting styles fall. So let's look at each of them and see how they line up with research in the outcomes for children. Authoritarian is the first one we're going to look at. This parenting style has high demands and control with low levels of warmth. Not very sensitive to the child's emotions and have strict rules. Discipline can be harsh with this parenting style. Outcomes of the child are lower self-esteem and less moral reasoning. They may be defiant, resentful, and withdrawn. More likely to have internalizing problems such as depression or anxiety, and externalizing problems such as aggression, hostility, or antisocial behaviors. So just saying, anytime throughout this video I mention internalizing or externalizing problems, those are overall what I mean. Internalizing problems would be kind of the mental problems people face within their head, while external problems would be what they display to the world, like antisocial behaviors. I'd also like to clear up when I say antisocial behaviors, I don't mean sitting in a corner alone. I mean doing things that are negative for society, such as smashing mailboxes. That could be known as an antisocial behavior. The second style we're going to look at is permissive. This parenting style is low in demands and high in warmth. The child may have equal say or even dictate some of the decision making for the family. Fewer rules and restrictions, but the child is loved and can express themselves freely. I like to think of this as the parent being their friend. That's a good way to think about it. Outcomes for children raised with this parenting style are impulsivity, aggressiveness, self-centeredness, less autonomous, and poor social skills. It also could create rebelliousness and not feeling worthy of love from others. They are the least self-reliant, self-controlled, and they are less explorative. Looking at the third parenting style, this is disengaged. This parenting style is low on demands and low on warmth. Another name for this style is neglectful. The parent is not emotionally connected with their child and does not provide any rules or structure for the child to follow. Something to note is that the parent may just be overall drained from work or what's going on in their life that they can't give that attention to the child that they need to give. So outcomes for this parenting style is anger and defiance, low self-esteem, and lower self-confidence. Also, lower levels of academic performance and achievement striving would be seen, low psychological maturity, and internalizing and externalizing problems, as I mentioned earlier. The APA notes they may constantly seek role models, which may be inappropriate. So since they don't have that parent figure there, they're going to seek out other people. Now, the person they're seeking out may be someone good, and that may be beneficial. It would be better off if their parent was their role model or the one that they were modeling. But the problem is that the role model might not be appropriate. It might be somebody who is antisocial or is somewhere on the antisocial spectrum or doing antisocial behaviors, which would not be beneficial for the child. And the final one that we have is authoritative. This parenting style is the most supported by research to be the best. This style has demands and control to an appropriate level for the child's age. Warmth, encouragement, and praise is provided to the child. Inductive discipline is the method used, which is providing a reason for the punishment of the bad behavior. So kind of picture a kid doing something bad and being punished, and when the kid says why, if the parent just ignores them and doesn't respond, that would be more authoritarian. While if the parent says, this is why, and this is the punishment you're getting, and that's why it's this punishment, that would be authoritative. Outcomes for this parenting style are the best out of all the different styles. Children are most self-reliant, outgoing, achievement-oriented, empathetic, altruistic, self-controlled, meaning that they are not impulsive, curious, cheerful, and friendly. Children raised with this style have high self-esteem, are likely to be leaders, and are least likely to use substances. When I'm saying substances, I mean drugs, alcohol, etc. That right there is the 4 parenting styles, and as we can see right here, the outcomes out of all these 4 parenting styles are best with authoritative. So going back to this, authoritative, as you can see, is high in acceptance, and it's high in demands too. Having rules and a structure is what the child needs, but they also need that warmth. If they don't have that warmth, it's not good for them then. They're going to be defiant. They're going to be resentful. They're going to have low self-esteem. Being able to have a structure in which the child gets disciplined when they do wrong, but also still knowing that the child is loved is going to be the best for them. So take these how you will and do background research. I highly recommend doing background research as well. As we can see, disengaged is probably the worst. Authoritarian and permissive are worse than authoritative, but probably a lot better than disengaged, because at least there's structure with authoritarian and at least there's warmth with permissive. But authoritative is the best one. So go do more research, look it up on your own, and for fun, you guys can comment what you think you would be or what your parents are. So thanks for watching. This is Real Truth Media, and I'm way out. I'll real see you.